Hey everybody, hope you all are having a good week. I kind of just waited almost 10 minutes and nobody's joined just yet. So I guess we can look at some charts. I don't really have much going on. I mean, I pretty much covered everything yesterday, but we'll look at the daily and everything. First, I want to bring up open theta. So you've got the theta drop here. And this was the Theta Punks Unchained or whatever. So these have been released, which is great. Um, some of them seem pretty cheap. You could wait a little bit if you wanted to add any of these, but it's on Theta Drop. And Theta Drop's the biggest platform for Theta. So buying the Theta Punks a long time ago, probably could have got a lot of them cheaper now, obviously, but they're still building and they're still getting on platforms. So that's really good. They've also got ways to stake them too. I haven't looked too much into that, but that is a possibility. So some of these kind of look pretty unique. Um, I might even add some of these down the road. We'll see. But anyway, that's the Theta Drop ones. Those were just released, I think, on Friday or something like that. Something like that. And then you've also got the NFTs being purchased on Open Theta. So you've got these high flyer clubs are selling quite a bit for whatever reason. And then you've got a space punk here that was 1900. And then you've got some of these. A lot of these are zombies. There was one like this one here sold for 1100, which is pretty good. So T Fuel price has dropped. So the T Fuel that you're getting, you're gonna get a lot more for the value of the NFT. But that's just because T Fuel's prices dropped. So things kind of seem like they've leveled out a little bit. And I think one thing, once things start moving, a lot of people are going to buy up a lot of NFTs that are on Theta Drop. We just need Theta to do well. And I think Theta's still doing just fine. We looked at this 2 week. So this is not confirmed cross to the upside yet. That didn't happen for 2 weeks. And then we just looked at the weekly yesterday. We've got a cross to the downside, which isn't good. But the good thing about this is this cross to the upside here. And again, I can show this just like I showed last time. We had some fake outs here, and then we finally actually crossed the downside. Looks like what we're doing right now. And then the histograms are also starting to grow, which is good. You've also got some divergence here. So you've got divergence on the histograms. Histograms are shrinking, and then price is continuing to go down, which is good. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things still showing up here. It's just how long are we going to be down here? That's the question. This time over here, we're down here about the same amount of time we were over here. So we can go from the bottom to, let's even do this breakout candle, 16 bars. So the bottom here, 15 bars currently. This one here, this one took forever. It took 40 bars to get some kind of pretty close to a breakout right here. One thing that you can look at that's a little bit different to kind of see if we're going to speed up the process is the 3-day 50 moving average. So when we're looking at the 50 3-day moving average, once we break above that, it's a good sign. This one did actually run back down, but we'd have to see how high we go up once we do that. Right here, we actually broke through it. And then this one, we're actually getting very, very close to approaching that, which should be probably next month, I would think. This is just almost going straight down, so try to draw this okay here. So it probably looks something like that. And yeah, I mean, 2 to 3 weeks, probably. 2 to 3 weeks, we're going to find out if we actually get through this or not. No, we haven't even touched it yet. Good thing about the volume, it's starting to grow here too. These are 3 days, so we haven't had this kind of volume until back over here, and there's still a whole day to do this. So this is most likely going to be bigger than this volume candle over here. Hopefully it can look something like one of these over there. But if you go back and you look at the daily, I mean, look at this volume candle on Bitfinex. So that volume candle is bigger. You know, we haven't seen that since the bottom over here. Crosses over green. Let's look at this really quick. Okay. So daily looks good. This hasn't confirmed yet, but as long as we get green price action, this is going to cross and confirm. So we'd probably get some bullish price action at this, as long as that actually stays green today, which currently it does look like it's going to. Yeah, I would think this is going to stay green. Just overbought a little bit. 4 hours overbought, but it can be up there for a while. Yeah, I mean, it looks good to me. About to pass through the zero line too in the next 3 hours, as long as this stays green. So that's good. Normally get a pretty good move once we pass through that zero line. If you look over here on the MACD 4 hour, past the zero line, it's a pretty strong move. Pass through the zero line on the downside, pretty strong move to the downside. So as long as that candle stays green, we should pass through it and then have a move up. And then daily still has room for it to go up. So cool. I mean, we can look at ADA again. There's not, I mean, that's good. Still got to wait for the MACD. So, I mean, I would just expect ADA to consolidate until it tags this. I would expect this to break out to the upside. I'd expect us to actually get out of this bull flag and then have a run up, maybe to about 70 cents or something like that, this little resistance area. Once we actually get out of this pattern, we still have mid-October before that happens. So there's quite a bit of time. Really don't think ADA is going to break down any farther. I don't think Bitcoin's going to break down any farther. So ADA might have a double bottom later on down the line. It could come up. Let's look at this real quick. let's say if this was the bottom for ADA. Take this off for right now. Take this off for right now. Yeah, it could come to 75 cents here, or even could come to $1 if it breaks out of the bull flag to the upside. Does something like this. We go sideways, and then in October we break up, and then we get rejected here, and then we fall all the way back down, and then we actually start to break through all of this stuff before we start to climb. Doesn't have to do this, doesn't have to do a double bottom. I could even break out here, tag this, and just consolidate for a while before it actually starts to move back up. It could come back up to this level, this dollar level, and then fall 50% or whatever, and then start to climb. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, but this is major resistance here, so I'd expect it to have a pullback from once it gets out of this bull flag, pull back from there, pull back from there. I mean, this bull flag is huge though, so the cup and handle, that cup and handle, I mean, that target's huge, so very little sellers as well. Let's look at another one. Looking at volume, I've got old targets on a lot of this stuff. Nothing really to cover on volume just yet. I mean, it is decreasing if you look at it, but I'd like to see a tighter decrease. Let's look at the USDC dominance. Okay, so we showed this, I showed this last week. So it would probably get a resistance from right up here. This is, yeah, this is a pretty strong sell-off candle when you see those like right up here. I've seen this pattern a lot, but this is kind of doing the opposite as Bitcoin. So it's kind of a flip-flop which direction it goes. However, this looks like it's going to sell off, and then Bitcoin looks like it's actually going to do really well based on the MACD. Like this is crossed to the downside, pointing down. Kind of even have some divergence here, but yeah, we've got a little bit there. So this does look like it's actually going to sell off. And then, yeah, if that confirms, if that passes through on the MACD tomorrow, and then this falls to the downside as well, which it looks like, I mean, it's probably going to happen. That looks pretty good. If this falls, Bitcoin goes up. Look at the daily here. Yeah, all of that currently looks bearish too. So that's good for BTC. Let's take a look at. We'll look at data drop real quick. So this is one that some of the group members have. I know some people still have a secret pineapple container. There's only 150 left, but it's still worth $945. I think we paid $200 for it or something like that. So if you opened it, you'd probably have one of these, which is $230 or $300. That's the lowest floor price on these. So I still think these are probably going to be one of the top NFT projects on Data Drop, just because of how well they've held their floor. If you want to look at the price lowest to highest, you could probably get a decent one. So $299 or whatever. That one's probably decent just from what it looks like. Just find stuff that just looks more rare. Lower editions are probably better as well. So these have held pretty good. The floor is probably set at $300 on the pineapple containers. So just like punks, their floor was set, and then once the bull market started, they started going crazy. Yeah, somebody sold this for 10 T fuel. That's crazy. Yeah, sometimes I guess you can get lucky and get something pretty cheap if somebody lists it for a dumb price, and if you're paying attention. But yeah, that's really the only project I think that and Data Punks. I think that's probably the best ones there. There are some other ones here. Let's look and see. Data drop. So I have quite a few passaways. And these, they're just not doing quite as well as the pineapples. However, I mean, I think they're still a decent NFT project for Theta Drop. And I plan to just hold these for the next 3 years and just seeing what price they get to. And just remember, I mean, I think NFTs are going to have another boom, just like what happened over here. So NFTs had a boom. I would say this is kind of like the NFT space currently. So let's compare this to ADA. So when the altcoin, the UCO market or the ICO market went crazy, back over here, this is all that you saw. So this is what we were looking at in 2017, 2018. This is all that you saw. ADA came out, shot up 1,200%. And this is kind of like the NFT boom that just happened. Okay. Then there was this huge correction. Everybody lost all their money, and all of these coins just kept falling. And then kind of like where we are now. Maybe we're here in the NFT market, maybe we're down here in the NFT market, and then the NFT market boomed even higher, or the ICO market boomed even higher. So there was another leg up, and this one actually went up higher than the last one, 7,800%. So that's something to keep in mind. So NFT market, I think, just happened kind of over here. I don't think like Theta Punks or whatever or anything like that are going to be even more than what they were worth now, but I think there's going to be other projects that are kind of hidden gems within the NFT market. Pineapples could be them, possibly Theta Punks. I still think pineapples are probably the best for Theta drop. And then Open Theta, I think Open Theta is probably the best ones. There are probably going to be let's even show this to you. So you've got Theta Punks here, lowest price is 600 T fuel at this moment, so the floor has increased. Mystic Gurus are probably these are actually probably pretty good. I own, I think, one of these, maybe. Yeah, I think this is the ones that I own. I got in them a little bit later. So the Theta Dragons. A lot of people got this in the group. There's only one for sale here, or 4 for sale. It's 2000 T fuel. That was free. That's one that we got for free. I would just personally, I'd hang on to it, just see what happens with all the Theta Punks. Just holding stuff is really important, and then selling at the right time on wave 5. But those are the only 2 projects I've really been following. Everything else just seems really, really cheap. Daily Diamond, what is this one? So a lot of this artwork is kind of neat. I mean, this is pretty cool. So NFTs can be artwork, it can be all kinds of different stuff. This one's actually really, really cool. There were some other ones that we own. Where is that? This one here, I think. These aren't really worth very much. Feel about that. Daily Diamond, let's see this one. I swear I own some of this artwork, I just can't find them here. thought it was Daily Diamond. Okay. Well, either way, there's some stuff you can look at on there if you want to get some NFTs. It just takes one, guys. I mean, if you would have had one Data Punk or one Bored Ape, you would have made a couple $100,000. So, throwing in a little bit of risk capital on a couple of these and just kind of seeing what happens. Your risk is, set aside $1,000. Your risk is to lose $1,000 or to gain, and then your gain is, potentially $100,000, a couple $100,000, as long as the NFT marketplace booms again. It's a pretty substantial increase in money, and these are easier to sell than well, actually, maybe not quite as easy to sell, to know when to sell rather than crypto in general. Let me see if there's anything else I can look at here. I mean, CRO is pretty cheap too. It's back to where our initial buy was for one of them. CRO, still think it's a pretty good buy. CRO USD. Giving 11 cents. That's pretty good. So CRO is still good. I don't think crypto.com is going away. I think it's a pretty safe bet. And then that's really it, guys. That's all I've got. Crypto's moving a little bit. Bitcoin's moving a little bit right now. So let's see what happens next couple days. And I will do a video on Thursday. So I'll talk to y'all then.